All right, hold on. Let's go.
2024.
Yeah. And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pascack Clutch Podcast. A little bit of a break for spring break for us, but a lot of things happened. NBA, NHL, playoffs, and the NFL draft. We'll talk about all of that, but first, some school sports because those kept going throughout spring break. Baseball got a 6-1 no-hitter. Bergenfield scored on an error, and they won that for their 10th win of the season, 10-6. Out of division, however, they're 5-3 in the Big North Patriot division, about a game behind the leaders Indian Hills and Westwood. They're in third. Boys golf got their first win against Dumont, 203, the average score there. But you guys did lose big to Don Bosco, so there's not much you could do there.
I mean, it is Don Bosco.
There's not much you could do against Bosco.
Do you know how much we lost in JV by?
Ooh, I don't think I want to know that.
They had 3 guys shoot almost par.
Ooh. Well, they had 3 guys shoot 3 under par for varsity,
this
right?
This is JV.
Boys lacrosse 6-3 in the first year for Coach John Esposito. They're 4-2 in division, coming off a big win against Rutherford. They're going to play at New York School Pearl River on Saturday, and then they're back.
Wait, what? They play out of?
They're playing out of state,
That's
but it's only Pearl River. But that's happened for some of the.
Close enough.
That's happened for some of the other schools, and then they're back in state in division at Ramsey on the 7th. Boys tennis, best team at Pascack Hills this spring sports season, 6-2 under Mr. Gans, the GOAT, I think we can say. And they are undefeated in division. They're leading the Big North Patriot division.
He said he's a Jets fan. So
He is. I know. I've seen him. Big Jets fan. But they have some big matches coming up. Old Tapan, Don Bosco, and then Riverdale in division. So we'll see how they do. Their new girls golf team, 0-5, not doing so hot, but that's what happens when you get a new team.
Yeah.
Girls lacrosse 4-7. They just got a big win over the Mary Help of Christians Academy in North Halden, but that's not really a big win considering we've beat them for the past 5 years straight. 13-2 the final score. Their big game tomorrow for them. That'll be live here on our PH Athletics YouTube channel against Holy Angels. And softball had a 3-game winning streak right before spring break. Then they have lost 4 straight, unfortunately, including a Bergen tournament loss against Ramapo and a Coaches versus Cancer loss against Waldwick. They're at Fort Lee today and home against Riverdale on Friday. We'll have tape-delayed coverage of that also right here on our PH Athletics YouTube channel. Now, gentlemen, to the NBA playoffs. And let us begin in the Eastern Conference. We'll save the 2 big series for us last, the Knicks and the Heat. We're going to go to Milwaukee, where it's the Indiana Pacers leading the Bucks 3-2. The Bucks got a big win last night in Game 5, 115-92. Game 6 is tomorrow at Indiana on TNT. Tyrese Halliburton, pretty good throughout this series. What are you guys thinking about Indiana's chances to go through?
Oh, they're going to go through. I mean, but in my opinion, they're going to get out first round. Second round, I should say.
They verse either the Knicks or 76.
Yeah, they're gonna get out. They're not even. If you're letting up on average 140 points a game, pretty much.
What?
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, they had a game against the Lakers where it was 150 to 145.
Yeah.
They're not a defensive team whatsoever, like either the Knicks or the Sixers.
Why they're the 60s.
So it's really like. They're not going to get past second round.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks are going to go through tomorrow night.
They need one more win.
4-2.
And we'll talk about the Knicks coming up.
Who do the Knicks play if they win their series?
They play
either
Milwaukee or Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So the Pacers have a chance to seal that up at home. Game 6 tomorrow on TNT. We'll be sure to watch that one. Milwaukee still without Giannis, I believe.
Yeah, he's out for a while.
Dame has been pretty much the only guy, as per usual. He still can't get any help, even when he's on a team with Giannis. Other Eastern series that we don't really care about, Cavs Magic. Cleveland leads that 3-2 with Game 6 coming up at Orlando Friday night. The Cavs won 104-103 in Game 5. It's been a blowout series, I think we can say, although last night's game was a bit away from that. We'll see how Game 6 plays out. Cavs would play.
Yeah.
This bracket says the Cavs would play whoever wins the Celtics Heat series, which is correct.
I think Celtics probably going to win that one. There's no way the Heat is going to win 3 in a row.
No.
I mean, there's always a chance, but no.
There's no way.
Yeah. over.
Porzingis is out though.
Celtics are too solid this year.
There's a possibility.
They did win a game.
There's a possibility.
Celtics are too solid this year.
Drew Holiday's not that explosive on offense. All he need to do is stop Tatum, Derek White, and Brown, and you win.
Let's go over to the West now before we get back to the two big Eastern Conference series. Thunder sweep the Pelicans.
Not
that young
surprised.
core doing very well against a overmatched New Orleans team without Zion as well. All games pretty much, except for game one, all games won by double digits.
Really weird thing, Pelicans waived C.J. McCollum before the playoffs.
That's very interesting.
And he still was playing throughout the series.
Before the play-in or the play? He was still playing.
He was still playing, but it was like during. It was like right after the play-in, I think, or like
NBA contract rules are weird. And why would you even do that when you know Zion's going to be out? That's just interesting.
Zion's
well, no, he was
out,
still
right?
playing.
Well,
he still played either way.
Who, Zion or
no,
McCollum?
McCollum, he still played. He played for the remainder of the.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why would you waive him when you know your star is going to be out? You might as well just have him there because he's going to have to be the guy you rely on. Because for me, he's the only other name.
Well, no, I think it was because Zion was. They knew Zion was out. I don't think they. I think they felt as though they weren't going to beat the Thunder.
Yeah.
And they were preparing for the next season, just waiving him early.
That's fair. I think we can say LeBron James. What has happened?
Yeah, honestly.
4-1 to the Nuggets.
This is the first time in over 20 years we will not see either Steph Curry, LeBron James, or Kevin Durant in the second round.
Yeah, Curry out in the play-in, and LeBron and KD out in the first round. Lakers losing 4-1. Their only win coming in Game 4.
Correct me if I'm wrong. LeBron said before the season this was easy for him, or something like that. I remember hearing something
and then he came out after Game 2 and said, it's just basketball. We're just having fun.
I saw like the best game. It's like
when you get
Kobe. It was like Kobe after he's down 3-0. You know, we gotta keep going.
They didn't. Lakers won the game.
LeBron when he's down 3-0. You know, it's just basketball.
Hey Sean, how many rings did LeBron choke when he was in Miami?
How much?
2011 and 2014, right?
Yeah.
And that was with a super team with Chris Bosh.
They only won 2. They won 2 and 2.
They won 2. They went 2-2 in the finals. Not my goat. Come on, MJ 6-0. LeBron could have gotten 6 rings.
He can't get the job
lost to Dirk.
LeBron may
in
be
2011
the all-time scorer, but MJ's the GOAT.
And Kawhi Leonard
couldn't get the job done.
And MJ's the all-time scorer on average, which I believe is more impressive.
And the only reason why LeBron James has the all-time points because no one plays defense.
Yes.
Of course, he's gonna keep scoring.
Yeah.
That's why he scores 30 points a game.
Another sweep in the West came at the hands of Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns with the big three. They're also Booker and Bradley Beal, but that series wasn't even close at all.
They didn't score double digits in 2 of their games.
And Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And Edwards is the new face of the league.
I think so.
He's playing his
and the side-by-sides with Michael Jordan are funny.
They only would have won one game if you put the Suns' best score and the Timberwolves' worst score.
I'm not even gonna lie. If they beat the Nuggets to either 1-4 or no in any fashion this series, like if they move on to the next round, I could see the Timberwolves finishing all the way.
Who else do Timberwolves have? They have Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, they have Cat and they have one more guy. I forget his name, but if you show me the roster,
I think it's like an amazing meme. It's like on top it was Gru with the minions. On the bottom it showed Luka and then on the bottom LeBron and like three starters.
Yeah. Well, that Western Conference semifinal Timberwolves Nuggets is going to be the best series of these playoffs.
I think it's shocking that the Suns got swept in the first round, but 2 years ago they were a super team that made it to the finals.
You meant 3?
Oh yeah, because they had a
Chris Paul, Devin Booker.
They had Devin Booker.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Aiden, and did they have Kevin Durant by that point? No, he was still on the Nets.
He came the year after.
And then
Suns
they lost in the second
Suns
round.
also had DeAndre Ayton on that team.
Chris Paul was such a key part of that team, and no one ever gives him credit.
I swear, CP3 is either an all-star on the team or he's the biggest bust on it.
Well, he's finishing his career in a low light at the Warriors. Final series to go over in the West. Mavs Clippers, the only series currently tied, 2-2. Both teams with a win at home and on the road. Game 7 is Game 7 tonight, 10 p.m. on TNT. Game 6 is Friday at Dallas. This is a pretty good series.
I saw some weird stat.
Game 7 tonight?
Game 6.
I saw some weird stat where the Clippers were 2-0 without Kawhi and 0-2 with Kawhi.
This has been, I think, the best series to watch in the West. It's been the closest. Of course, the 4 and 5 matchup. You got Luka in there. Kawhi has been out, but Paul George has been going.
I like how Luka just.
Who do you think is going to win it
in every set?
It's close. I like the Mavs in this because I like
Yeah.
Kyrie and I like
I
like
really
Luka and I like Kyrie, but
it's really a toss
They
up.
have Luka.
it is a toss up. It is.
I like how
because the Clippers have been holding their own.
Yeah, Clippers
I
are
thought-
solid team.
I thought
Well,
they
with,
would have been swept by the Mavs.
with
but
No.
Westbrook and Harden.
They have Westbrook, they have
Westbrook,
Harden,
Harden, Paul George.
Yeah,
Even with Kawhi Leonard out, George Harden's been going off.
I know. I feel like that team is underperforming. That's the problem.
Well, you have all these super teams, but they're all
Ooh.
like that team could be considered a super team.
If that
but
was
it's a super team from 2015.
exactly.
Exactly.
If it was
That's why I
2015, it
feel
would be
like-
over.
Oh yeah.
That's why I said I feel like they're
It says-
underperforming.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Luka Doncic is on the injury report.
Is he?
No.
He's
on the
been
injury
playing.
It's-
Joel Embiid's on the injury report too, but he played last night. Speaking of that, let's go back to the East and let's go to the two series that actually matter. Celtics Heat. Sean, the resident Heat fan, down 3-1, but Porzingis is out, one of the big four in Boston. What can Miami do as the series swings back to Boston tonight, 7:30 on
Stop
TNT?
Tatum. Stop. Well, all you gotta really do is stop Tatum because Jaylen Brown is
Jaylen Brown is Jaylen Brown.
Derek White, good for the three. Just stop him. And
Yeah,
for the
I love
Heat,
that.
Tyler Hero needs the ball out. Give it to Bam. Dunk it down. And
Still
Eric's
in there.
and Coach Eric
Spoelstra.
Yeah, huh? I'm just wondering what he has on the drawing board.
Something needs to change if the Heat want to get one here in Boston. They need one in Boston. That'll be a good one to watch. I'll be watching tonight, 7:30 on TNT, and you should as well.
I just found Jimmy Butler's picture. Totally forgot how bad it was.
Oh, right.
The emo one.
The emo video game
Yes,
version.
I remember
Now-
that. Oh, that was a long time ago.
And it's still here.
Apparently,
Let's.
the Inter Miami is rumored to get a new kit, and it's supposed to be very similar to the Dolphins kit.
Oh, they were at the Heat game. Game
Yeah.
4
Lionel Messi.
last night. Lionel Messi was there. All the Miami guys were there. Let's go to the big series for us at least here. New York Knicks, Philadelphia 76ers, Turnpike series. Best series of the playoffs,
Yes.
I think. Probably because it's the only one that I've been actually watching.
But
Knicks
it's been very
beat-
close.
Knicks beat the Sixers 111-104 in game 1.
Yeah.
At the Garden, game 2, electric atmosphere, clutch
Yeah.
from DiVincenzo, right?
Yes.
I forget who it was, but
Yeah,
clutch from the
DiVincenzo.
former Villanova Wildcat, Dante DiVincenzo. Knicks win 104-101, hit a 3 after a big rebound from Brunson or a big interception. Was it Hart or was it Brunson?
I don't know.
I forget. I think it was Brunson, but
No, I think it was Hart.
Okay, it was Josh Hart, and then he blocked the Sixers' attempt on the other side of the floor.
Matchup predictor says it has Philly 57.5% to New York's 42.5%.
The Sixers
But
were
they forget
favored.
one guy, Jalen Brunson.
The Sixers were favored in this series. Game 3 back in Philadelphia. Big Sixers win 125-114. Then the Knicks stole one, 97-92. And last night back at the Garden, Knicks with a chance to seal the series up 3-1.
In OT.
Sixers tie it up. They were
Big Tyrese
they were
Maxey
down by 6 with about 10 seconds to go, and Tyrese Maxey hits a logo
Absolute
3
dagger.
to send it to overtime, and in overtime because the
He
Knicks
got
thought
46.
Knicks thought it was over. They were out of it by then.
Brunson's-
Overtime, Sixers win
Brunson
112 to
still
106.
scored 40.
It was
No.
Still scored
Now
40.
Sixers have all
Crazy
the
game.
momentum.
crazy game.
Tyrese
And now,
Maxey.
and-
Tyrese Maxey, 46 points, 17 for 30, and 5 for 8 from the
I've been
free throw
hearing
line.
New York Knicks fans saying we want Boston.
you still have to go through
Still-
Indiana to get there.
Yeah. Well, no, we're gonna get through. If we get there, we're going through Indiana.
I don't know. Don't be so
Indiana doesn't play any
sure.
defense.
I know, but don't be so sure.
And if we have Jalen Brunson, I mean, they're done.
Don't be
Yeah,
so
they have
sure.
Tyrese Halliburton.
We
Come
have
on,
more of a
people.
defensive team. Defense wins
This
championships.
is the
baby.
overconfidence that I know leads to bad things.
Overconfidence leads to
I've
downfall.
seen it too many times.
You are
Seen it
looking
too
like
many times, my friend. But as Sean said,
I can admit I've been there.
as Sean said, the Sixers have the momentum as the series swings back to Philadelphia tomorrow night, TNT.
You never know what can
And
happen.
then we're in New York on Saturday, probably. at
Sixers
7
can win
o'clock.
Game 6 and Game 7, and Knicks
TNT.
are out first round. Bye.
It could be. Could be. The 2 seed could go.
I'm just saying, Jalen Brunson is averaging 38 points per game.
I think this will be a 7-game series.
I think it will.
Yes.
I think the Sixers.
It could go 7.
And
I think they get one.
Who gets
at
7?
home.
Who gets 7
I
home?
think the Knicks get one in the Garden. I think that's
if
what
it's
Knicks
happens.
get game 7.
So that's when Knicks fans really got to show out.
Well, we'll see what happens there.
That game has the
I mean,
Knicks
2016
favored.
NBA Finals, Cleveland, they won Game 5 on the road, and they won Game 7 on the road.
So, we'll see.
If it goes to a game 7 as of now, Knicks are favored.
Yeah. Oh wow. Tickets in the 400s or $500.
Yeah.
Not surprising at
That-
all.
I just
What-
want that makes me question what courtside even is. That's probably
Oh,
$2,000,
it's,
$3,000.
Courtside is
how-
reserved for
5,000.
celebrities
Yeah.
and the rich. That's
5,000
about
in
Unless you're
section-
really
That's
paying
about
money.
it.
Yeah, minimum
Oh.
700, maximum 5,000.
Yeah, but we'll all be watching Iron Eagle and Grant Hill on TNT. Let's go over to the other game, the other playoffs on ESPN and TNT, and the bigger playoffs, I think.
Yes.
Mhm.
There's only one Stanley Cup, people, and it's the one being fought for right now. Stanley Cup playoffs. 4 series are done, 1 out of the West
Yeah.
and 3 out of the East. We're going to save 2 for last because those are the 2 that are close
Oh,
to us.
Colorado won last night.
Colorado won last night. Let's start in the West, and let's start with the Avs. They defeat the Jets 4-1, and the Avs will play either the Stars or Vegas
That's
in the
hear this.
second round.
The Avalanche scored 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. Their lowest
Yeah.
that they scored is 5 goals in
Which
any
is-
game. Where they and the Jets, yes, they scored 7 in the first game, but then went 2-2-1-3.
Sounds like someone needs a goalie.
You
Oof.
think?
Oof.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't even a lot of Hellbuck's fault.
Hopefully that means Tyler Toffoli will come back home. That's all
He
I
will.
want.
The Devils. said
He's
that they
done
won.
in.
Once
he's done
again,
in Canada. Come back to Jersey.
The delusion of the Devils fans.
All right,
I just zoned out there for a second. Let's go to the Stars and the Knights because the winner of that series will play
That one's
Colorado.
good.
the,
That's
Golden Knights are
Stanley
up
Cup
2
champions
games.
from 2 years ago. The
Yeah.
series is tied at 2-2.
Yeah.
But the Knights
They were up 2
uh,
games.
were up 2 games. They won both in Dallas,
Mhm.
but Dallas came back. It's been a road series, and Game 3 won in overtime, 3-2 by the Stars,
but, yeah.
4-2 as the series swings back to
And
Dallas
Dallas
today.
has been winning looks like almost all of their home games.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas
not
is
home games,
top-
away games. That's
Away games.
Vegas
my bad.
is
Away
top-
games.
Away games.
Vegas' top player or top points leader has only 69
Was
points.
it Strome?
He hasn't even broke 70.
Who's
No,
their top scorer?
Marchessault.
Montreal.
He. I thought they had at least have 80. They don't even have 70.
No.
But we can
Well-
all agree. Golden Knights have definitely taken a step back this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're still
It's
fighting. Playoff time. They're fighting.
Mark
They
Yeah.
are fighting,
They are.
and they've made it a 3-game series. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Game 5 tonight, ESPN 7:30. Let's go down to the bottom of the Western bracket. Game 6 coming up between the Canucks and the Predators. The Canucks leading Nashville 3-2 in that series. They won in overtime Game 4, 4-3, but Nashville took one in Vancouver 2-1 last night. Game 6 is May the 3rd coming up, and
I'm just
Do
gonna
you
say
think Vancouver
Predators.
gets it done, or do you think
I think Vancouver can. Well,
Vancouver can do it.
that's what I love
I
about
think
hockey? You
Vancouver
never
can
know
get
what's
it
going to
done.
happen.
In their games, there's not been the max score is 4 goals. That's the highest goal count by
Yeah.
any team
mhm.
in one game. But I mean, it's been pretty close. It was 1-1, 3-1, and now it's 3-2.
Well, so we'll see how that series goes.
Yeah.
And each game has only been won. The last 3 games have been won by 1 goal.
So has the makings of a good series as they go into the final 2 games, if necessary.
Going back to the East, I think that the most shocking series was definitely Florida Lightning.
And we'll get to the East in a moment. Let's finish off the West with Edmonton and the Kings. And if you're looking at it on ESPN as I am, you can see the difference between the leading scorers. Connor McDavid has 132 points.
Wow.
The Kings' Adrian Kempe, 75 points.
Connor almost doubled it.
That's why McDavid's the best player in the league.
And that's why the Oilers lead the Kings 3-1 through 4 games.
Now, I want to ask the question. How far do you think Edmonton's actually going to go?
Second round.
Yeah.
They win this series. They win
bracket?
this series and they lose to Vancouver because they're going to play either Vancouver.
I think that could be interesting.
I think it could be interesting.
The two versus one, David and
I think they lose the second round. I know they're not getting past the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, you know,
No.
unless the Stars play the Avalanche and somehow the Stars
Avalanche are going to Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
unless
Over the Stars.
unless somehow the Stars make it to the conference finals, the Oilers and no one in the West over there is gonna.
Because we know
Have
what
a
the
chance.
East is going to look like.
Are we gonna have a
It's the
94?
West.
Are we running back 94? Rangers Canucks.
That would be good. In the year O.J. Simpson died, Knicks in the finals. It wouldn't be against Houston, but that means we might win. And then Rangers Canucks.
It's basically
I'll take a
repeat of
Rangers Cup.
It's basically the
I
repeat of
I would
94.
rather have a Nick NBA championship, but I'd take a Rangers Cup.
This season for sports has
I'd
been
rather
real interesting.
personally. I'd rather a Rangers.
I know you'd
This-
rather
this-
that. Considering I'm a Devils,
This season of sports has been real interesting. NFL, it was basically like a
Ass.
repeat of 2019, and now you have the NHL, a repeat of 1994,
we'll see.
which is actually crazy.
It's interesting. Is P Diddy going to get chased in a Ford Bronco instead of O.J. Simpson? Not for murdering, but for something else that we will not talk about.
Nope.
You can figure it out yourself.
That's what
Well,
Google's
let's
for.
go over to the East. Florida and the Lightning, Michael, your
Yes.
series of choice, although the Panthers won in 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gentlemen sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Alex were actually at the one game that Tampa Bay won, and it was actually
I kind of wanted the Panthers win just so I could say I was at the sweep games. But
it's crazy that the one game I was at, the Lightning actually won, because this whole series, Florida has been dominating Tampa Bay.
Not really. I mean,
No.
there's
No,
three,
it's
four,
been- it's been
3-2,
close.
It's been
3-2,
close.
5-3,
3-2,
3-6.
3-2 in overtime.
6-1 in the last game.
Mhm.
that was
But
That was really...
Tampa Bay's a team that just won 2 years ago. Was it? It's Vegas last year,
they won
Colorado
20,
the year before, and
Tampa
then the
Bay.
two Tampa.
20 and 21.
Yeah.
So this team is good. I
Yeah,
Wasn't
they're
expecting this.
They're a bit washed.
They're a bit washed now. Although Kucherov has 144 and Reinhardt had 94 coming into
Yeah.
the series, which
They're
is
like the Rangers. They're always in
interesting.
the playoffs, but somehow something happens.
I'm
Right now the Rangers aren't out. But
I'm surprised Kachuk wasn't the leading scorer
Yeah.
for Florida. Let's go to who will face the Panthers, depending on who wins this series. Boston against
Yeah.
Toronto. The
Toronto
old
won last
rivalry,
night in OT.
original 6. Toronto stays alive, 3-2 series. I thought Boston was going to win in 5.
Yeah, same.
yeah.
But Toronto gets a big 2-1 overtime win in Game 5.
I can see it going 6 or 7.
But
Game 6 tomorrow with
Yeah.
Toronto at Toronto. There is a possibility. 8 p.m. tomorrow on TBS. We'll see what happens there. That should be a good game. I feel like Toronto may have some fight in them.
I mean, each game, except game 1, which the Toronto lost 5-1, each game's been pretty close.
Yeah.
3-2, 4-2, 3-1, 2-1.
I mean, we've been going off of
I'm pulling up his postseason stats right now.
we've been going off Austin Matthews. He only had 107 points on this year. He, of course, had 69 goals, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's only had one goal.
Pasternak was actually better than him, 110. So that's interesting. I thought Boston would sweep or at least win in 5, but that's why I don't bet.
It's also Boston who lost.
Over to
7, so
the real Eastern Conference Division, the Metro Division,
Yes.
and let us go to the New York Islanders. They lost to the Carolina Hurricanes in 5 games, including a double overtime game in Game 4, in which the Islanders won to keep their hopes alive. But
that was a
pretty
crazy
much
game.
That was
total
crazy.
domination by Carolina. They scored 6 goals in Game 5. The Islanders had 3 goals.
Are
at
we
the most.
surprised by this performance?
No, not
No.
really.
No.
Not
When
really.
we were in the Tampa Bay game, they actually had the score of the Islanders game
Mhm.
just because it got double OT.
Yeah.
And they kept refreshing it, and everyone who was actually like paying attention to that was like, no way,
Yeah.
no way.
Mhm.
Everyone was like screaming,
It does
double
be-
OT, they're going to double OT.
And that's when you pull it up on your phone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's when you start to wonder: is it gonna be like last year? It's 7. No, not 7 OTs. Four,
Four
5.
OTs.
4
The
OTs.
Panther game went to 4th OT
Yep.
against the Hurricane, and they scored with like 13 seconds left in that 4th OT.
Which was crazy.
It was
That's a long one. I remember I stayed up for that. Or
it was an
tried to
extra
stay up for that.
almost 80. It was an extra 79 and 3/4 minutes.
Just a crazy, crazy
I
time.
think it's one of the longest games in NHL.
It
Florida.
4th overtime last year.
Oh yeah. It
'Cause
was that in the
20-minute overtimes.
in the Rangers Penguins
Yes.
game when it went to triple overtime at like 1 a.m.
Yeah. Well, let's wake up Sam and let's wake up Sean because let's talk about the President's Trophy winners, the New York Rangers.
Going on to
Big
play the
old
Heron.
sweep over
Yep.
the Capitals.
I
No
mean,
surprise there.
Not
How
no
do you feel?
surprise.
Rangers Hurricanes coming up. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. It could be a good series. I feel like we could dominate the Hurricanes. What is our regular season record against the Hurricanes?
I'm not sure. You played them at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Just the biggest question from the
I thought the Capitals
Capitals Rangers series. Where was Alexander Ovechkin?
Oh,
He had
Zero
didn't do
shots in the
anything.
first- He had 0 shots. In the
No
first
goals,
game.
no assists.
Carolina
The
were
whole
1-2, 1-2-0 versus the Rangers this season. So I mean, it's really a toss up, but I think the Rangers can win.
Carolina's that team
your
that like
your
sneaks
last
in-
game, a 2-1 win over Carolina. So
Carolina is that like
sorry, no,
is
no,
always
no,
that
that was
one-
your first game against Carolina. My
Yeah.
bad.
Carolina this
A
year.
1-0
is that
win
team
over
that
Carolina.
barely
Yeah, it was
at
a-
Carolina. So you have a chance here. I think the Rangers going through the conference
Yeah,
finals.
we had a game versus Carolina in the Garden where we lost 1-6, but that was all the way back in January.
Yes.
Now I want to.
And then we had a game all the way back in March.
November.
I want to
March.
ask the question now.
March,
Rangers
where we
and
won
what?
1-0. I mean,
Rangers what?
Rangers in what?
5.
I can see
I
us
see
going
6.
5 or 6.
I
Five
saw
or
the
six.
Rangers.
I see 5
I
or
think
6.
Carolina could at least sweep 2.
I thought the
I
Capitals.
think
were
I
gonna
think
win at least
actually I agree with you. I think Carolina takes both at home, and then the Rangers win in 6.
one. Carolina at home are almost like
'Cause
impossible.
Rangers-
to defeat. They're
Rangers
so,
at the Garden, I think that's gonna be their turnaround.
Their fans are so
I
good.
think-
I
that-
see it being close at Carolina, but then when you get to the Garden, that's when the Rangers really start to play their game, get the goals, and then they go back to Carolina, take care of business there, and then finish it off at home.
I can see Rangers taking game 4 in Carolina. Going up maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It could be 2-2 by that time. I don't know. But I can
Well,
see them
when the Rangers go to the conference finals, how do you think they're going to do against Florida or Boston? Maybe.
Boston, I think they can.
I
beat
don't
Florida.
see-
I don't know.
Hold on, we see the bracket.
I mean, Boston, Jeremy Swayman and Linus Olmark have both been good.
Playoff Central.
They're just.
I don't see the Bruins going past if they can't beat the Maple Leafs tonight. They're not well rested enough.
Mhm.
If they
If they go to
don't
games.
win.
If that series goes to 7, I think
And-
the Panthers get through easily
Yeah.
in the second.
Yeah.
They've already had 2 days to rest, so
Yeah.
they'll have like almost
I
a
mean-
week of rest.
I think the Rangers will do good against Florida if that's who we play in the next round, assuming we get to the next round.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think the Rangers could go the cup this year and after Eastern Conference Finals in 5 or 6 games. I don't see it going 7 in Florida. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
me.
I don't think that's what's going to
I
happen.
mean, I can only if the Bruins do win against Florida, I can only see it going
I
like
see 5.
4 or 5 games
Yeah.
against Boston. They're not well rested enough.
Well, we can go away from the NHL now. We'll save the last 10 or so minutes for something that for some reason took away from the Stanley Cup and NBA playoff ratings. We don't know why you watch it. Well, we do. But we don't understand why you like the NFL so much, especially with it's going soft right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
NFL draft, however, chance for some of these bad teams to get up. Worst team in the league, Carolina, but they traded the first overall pick to the Bears for the first overall last year. Bears take Caleb Williams with it. I think he's a bust.
Yeah. Bust.
Go on.
Yeah.
Everybody's hyping him up.
Did you see what he texted their newly signed punter?
Mhm.
He's like,
You won't
sorry,
do
but
much.
you're not going to be doing much.
Mhm.
We're gonna be scoring a
The
lot of
overconfident.
touchdowns."
Back to the beginning of the show. The overconfidence. It's not gonna
No.
go well.
On his
It's
first
not
press-
going to be good.
On his first press conference after speaking in a very high-pitched Bears, he went, "The Bears,"
Mhm.
and then walked away.
Yeah.
Bears.
They picked Rome Dunze, the wide receiver from Washington, to help with that.
Yeah.
I think he'll do well.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's surprising that he fell that far.
I just don't like the Caleb Williams pick. I
I
do
like
like
the Jaden Daniels
I
pick,
do
though.
like Jaden Daniels at number 2 to
See,
I
Washington.
do like that pick.
I do like that.
Not
the
that I think
Heisman
he was
winner.
going to fall down. I know the Raiders were trying to trade up to get the 2 overall pick, maybe 1, but I know they wanted Jaden Daniels.
Because AP coached him in
Yeah,
college.
Arizona State, Jaden Daniels, Antonio Pierce. That was interesting.
And then number 3, Drake May. I think he can do well
Yeah.
in New England.
Yeah.
I think he can be okay.
I thought it was a little high for him to go. I thought he was
No,
jump like
I
5.
think it was okay for him.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he'll fit the system.
Yeah.
The first 4 we knew what was going to happen, and it played out
And of
that
course, Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4.
Yeah.
He'll be a weapon in Arizona for
Oh, yeah.
Kyler Murray.
And then-
Yep.
Will he be that much of a weapon?
Probably not.
not. But
Because he doesn't have a good QB throwing to him.
exactly. But
I think this is Kyler Murray's
still
make or break
a
season.
good pickup.
He either
I agree.
does good.
No excuses for Kyler Murray
No.
now.
No COD.
And at number 5, expecting a trade here but didn't get one, Chargers stayed, took the first offensive tackle non-weapon of the class, Joe Alt from
Mike
Notre
was
Dame.
screaming, "Why are you taking O-line? I'm taking a receiver."
Because they're smart, and then the Raiders are going to lose to him twice next year.
Yep.
Anyways, number 6, Malik Neighbors to the Giants from LSU. Doesn't really matter.
Nope.
Same thing as Marvin Harrison.
I don't
Can
know-
be a weapon, not really,
I don't
because
even know if he's
Daniel
really
Jones
happy
is
to be
back.
there.
Thank you. I don't think he is. Number 7, offensive tackle, Alabama to the Titans, J.C. Latham.
Not who I
Now,
thought
you
was
were expecting Olu Fashanu
Yeah.
to go there.
See-
Thankfully, he went down to the Jets. I do like that
Well,
pick.
we all knew
Yeah.
that.
God.
We all knew it was projected that Joe Alt was going to Tennessee, but obviously that didn't happen.
Yes.
So I thought it was be Olu and then J.C. Latham, but I'm wrong. That's what proves
No.
that the draft is unexpectable.
J.C. Latham goes to number 7 and goes to Tennessee. Number 8 is
Speaking
the
of unexpectable.
big one. Atlanta Falcons just signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year contract
180 million.
for $180 million in
100
the
mil
offseason.
guaranteed.
They come into the draft. The minds in Atlanta must have been poisoned by the water because none of us understand except Sean, who does kind of make a good point. Quarterback to the Falcons from Washington,
Michael
Penix Jr., quarterback of the
Do you know what-
second place team in
Do
the
you know what I
country
think?
in college last year.
Last year they did the same thing. They pulled someone that none of us thought was going to go. I mean, who thought that they were going to draft a running back first round after
But
drafting
at
one
least
year
Bijan
before?
had some talent
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
him. And I'm
Um,
not saying that Penix doesn't have talent
And
behind
at
him.
least he can be rotated in.
Yes.
You can't
Mhm.
just rotate out your
Exactly.
starting quarterback.
But then
Exactly.
you also have to think Kirk Cousins is coming off an injured season where he's got his ACL torn.
But so is
he had he tore his Achilles.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
still,
It's good insurance, but I don't know about
Yeah,
it.
I
'Cause
don't
really
when
know.
he's going to be the starter, you're going to have to pick up his 5th-year option.
they could have done the same. They could have picked up someone else or way cheaper.
But we'll see. We'll
obviously
see.
we all-
I don't
Because
like-
the
I don't like
Jets
that pick.
are kind of doing the same thing
Honestly,
with
we
Jordan
all-
Travis, but
But no, that's a completely
it's
different
different. Though,
situation.
We'll get
because
to there in a sec.
Rodgers has like 1 year.
We'll get
left
to there
on
in a
his
second.
contract.
But anywho, we thought Michael Penix was gonna fall to the second round, maybe. I don't think 3rd round, but at least the 2nd round.
Well, maybe not.
I think
no,
it's a
he would have been taken by the Raiders or the Vikings.
Yeah. No,
No.
first
Yes.
round we weren't going to take him. We didn't want to keep. We weren't going to take
No,
him.
actually-
Because you're stupid.
No, because we needed
Ra-
other players.
I actually, from my source,
In a world where Al Davis is smart, the Raiders take Michael Penix 1st round.
Yeah.
Thank you.
from what I've heard, the Raiders actually did try to trade up to take Penix.
Mm-hmm.
Once I
Thank
I
you.
think part of
Thank you.
we
I
tried
think
to
part of
Thank you.
I think part of the thing that Atlanta is trying to do is that they're trying to hold on to Penix and try and use him as a trading asset in the future.
All right, here's the issue. If you're gonna sign Penix to a rookie scale contract, it's gonna be 4 years. both Kirk Cousins and Penix's contracts are going to be up at the same time. And
they're gonna pick up his 5th-year option.
If I'm not mistaken, Penix is older than Kirk Cousins.
What?
No, you got trolled.
No.
Goodbye. Sit down. Thank
Sorry.
you. Let's go. Number
There's
9,
no
we mentioned
way.
Rome Odunze.
Right.
Number 10, J.J. McCarthy to Minnesota. We predicted that.
Yes.
I kind of like that. I like that.
I'm not
pick.
disappointed.
He's
in that.
already
Not
used to
disappointed.
playing in the cold. Why not play in the cold even more?
Might as well. You're only
Just
moving
switch the
2 or 3 states.
You only have the best wide receiver in the league.
Olu Fashanu to the
Debatable.
Jets. As I said, I like that pick. Bo Nix to the Broncos. Now, that is an interesting
Very-
one.
Like Penix, we thought he was
Rush.
going to fall to the second round.
Yeah, well, it didn't happen. Thank you, Michael. Bo Nix to the Broncos. What do you guys think
Who
about
do
that?
the Broncos have for receivers?
No one.
Good
Well,
question.
didn't they get Judy?
No,
No,
they traded
No,
him.
they
Judy's
traded
on
him.
the
They traded
yeah.
him.
Browns.
He's on the
Traded
Browns.
to the Browns.
Yes.
They have Marvin Mims.
Yeah, they
It,
have a bunch of
it
no
says
names.
something that I have no clue
They
who
have a
that
bunch
is.
of no
Some
names.
random receiver they drafted, I think, 4th round last year.
And let's
Do they have
finish.
Cortland Sutton?
No, I think he's gone. Let's finish.
No,
No.
no one
And
wants
Here's
to play.
here's Michael. The Raiders in the 1st round take.
Oh boy.
The Raiders first round take Brock Bowers out of Georgia. I think it's a good pick. People say that Michael Mayer is going to be the tight end too, and he's not going to get the credit he deserves. I think what I've been hearing, Brock Bowers is going to be in a slot position where Hunter Renfrow was last season, because I was heard from Brock Bowers. He was moved around a lot at Georgia, so he can play at all those different spots.
Bro, tight end's literally just a bigger receiver.
Apparently,
so.
but also apparently, Michael Mayer is more of a blocking.
Yeah, Michael
tight
Mayer is
end.
more of a blocking tight end, so you can use them more in run, pass
Passing.
option stuff. But when you're going more for straight on passes, Bowers is going to be someone who I think you should look at a lot.
No kidding.
Ladies and
now you've
gentlemen, this is what we have to say. The ramblings of a madman, the Raiders fan, Michael McKay, here on the Pascack Clutch Podcast. And I think that's the way to end it. Thanks for joining us here this week. A lot of things to cover. Next week we'll have a few guests on because it's a lot of NHL playoffs and a little bit of the NBA as well. So for Alex McKay, Sam Koppelman, Michael McKay, and Sean